I became the editor for the 50th anniversary commemorative book for the Malaysian Orthopedic Association back in 2017. I decided to record the presence of women in orthopedic in Malaysia. So I decided to write a chapter on it. And I also managed to persuade Professor Tugusara, who is the first Malaysian orthopedic surgeon in Malaysia, to write a chapter on her journey as a female orthopedic surgeon. So I started to collect a lot of data from my female colleagues in the country. And gradually, the data collection expanded to include the neighboring countries in Asia, as you can see. And slowly, with the help of the national presidents of the various orthopedic associations in Asia, I managed to expand the data further. And as you can see here, it's becoming like a lot of countries are involved. And the latest I managed to get involved were New Zealand, Australia, and also America. So these data were presented in many countries in Asia when I became the Orthopedic Association's president 2 years ago. And it kind of created a bit of ripples in all these countries, where, as you probably understand, in Asia, it is still a very much male-dominant society. So these are data of 2019 that you can see. And this probably formed the base of what we have today. So now, ASEAN, as you know, is an association of Southeast Asian nations, and which was founded in 1967. And we have 10 countries in ASEAN. But for ASEAN Orthopedic Association, in short, we call AOA, which was founded in 1979, we have currently only 9 nations. So Laos is still not a member state. So I'm the current president for the ASEAN Orthopedic Association. Now, ASEAN, as you know, with so many countries, although it's from the same region, it has a lot of differences from each other, whether it is culturally or politically or language or religion. So it is a very diverse region in the world. Okay. Let's have a look at how each and every one of the countries are doing. Now, for Brunei, which is the smallest state in ASEAN, there are currently 19 orthopedic surgeons. And out of 19, there are 3 women orthopedic surgeons. And this is the latest data now. 2 years ago, there were only 2 of them. So Dr. Sonali Pandey is one of the earliest, and Dr. Hajar Liza. The latest addition for Brunei is Dr. Lydia Moses. As for Indonesia, Indonesia has made a lot of improvement in the last few years. So they currently have 67 women orthopedic surgeons. 2 years ago, there were only 54. And similarly with other countries in the world, so the women orthopedic surgeons constitute about 5% of the total number of orthopedic surgeons in the country. And Dr. Yvonne Sarah, who is a spine surgeon, is the first Indonesian woman orthopedic surgeon. As for Philippines, Philippines has quite many women orthopedic surgeons, 58. And as you can see, there are just some of them here. They are growing very, very fast. for Philippines. Philippines women are very active in orthopedics. As you can see here, Dr. Teresita Arte, who was the first woman orthopedic surgeon in Philippines, and that was back in 1971. You know, I was just in the first grade in school, and she was already an orthopedic surgeon. And she was trained as a pediatric orthopedic surgeon in the UK, and she became the president for Philippine Orthopedic Association as early as 1986. And she sat as a chair for the Philippines Board of Orthopedic for many years. And she is still very active, and I still see her around in the POA meetings nowadays. Many years later, Dr. Virginia Cablin became the second woman president for POA, and she was succeeded by Dr. Julian Aguila the next year in 2016. One thing about Philippine Orthopedic Association is that they have a wing under POA that they call Philippine Society of Women Orthopedic Surgeons. So they are very active, and the current president is Dr. Amelia, and the vice president, as you can see here, is Dr. Janice Ann. As for Thailand, they have 104 women orthopedic surgeons right now, and they also have made a lot of improvement in the last 2 years. The first woman orthopedic surgeon is Professor Kanika Chamni Prasad, who is the current Vice Dean for Education for Prince of Songkla University. And Dr. Kanika is very well respected in Thailand, and she is also very active in the ARCOS. ARCOS is the Royal Thai Orthopedic Society. So as you can see, the Thai women are also doing very well. As for Singapore, I have to mention Dr. Kanwaljit Soin. Dr. Kanwaljit Soin is really a fantastic woman. As you can see here, she became an orthopedic surgeon. She's probably the first ASEAN woman to become an orthopedic surgeon in 1970. Okay? And she is a hand surgeon, and this is a really very highly accomplished and respected woman in Singapore. As you can see, she founded very early, back in the 80s, a gender equality organization called AWARE in Singapore. And she was the award winner for Woman of the Year back in 1992, Woman Who Make a Difference, award by International Women Forum in Washington. And when she grew older, she founded a group called the Women's Initiative for Aging Successfully. And she's also a very good writer. And she has written 2 books, and both about women. One must not forget her is that she is also a member of Parliament for Singapore. So Dr. Kanwaljit Soin was probably the first woman in ASEAN to become an orthopedic surgeon. And the number of orthopedic surgeons in Singapore has doubled in the last 2 years. So in 2019, there were only 8 of them. But in February 2021, when I last made the head call, I found out that there are currently 16 of them. And you can see they are really powerful women here, and most of them are all subspecialty trained. So there's a lot of young active women surgeons in Singapore. So as for Malaysia, you can see Professor Tunku Sarah was the first woman to become an orthopedic surgeon. And that was back in the 1990s, many years after Singapore and Philippines. Professor Tunku Sarah is a hand and micro surgeon, and she attended medical school in London, but came back and worked in the University of Malaya, and she has always been in University of Malaya until she just recently retired from her work. So there were very few women in orthopedics in Malaysia back in the 1990s. I won't say this is a very lonely journey, but in Malaysia, we were very well accepted by our male colleagues. It can be quite challenging to work in those years, but I must say that those were probably the best years of my career, as you can see that. So all of us, we stay on in the system. None of us left for the more lucrative practice, and we kept on mentoring other women surgeons and paving for more to follow. So there are more and more female orthopedic surgeons now. So we have a total of 101 in the last count, and that makes up about 10% of all the orthopedic surgeons we have in Malaysia. There is a recent survey conducted by my colleague, Dr. Liu, and also Dr. Ima from the University of Putra, Malaysia, and we found out that there are about close to 39% of all women orthopedic surgeons are subspecialty trained. The biggest groups belongs to the pediatric orthopedics group, followed by hand and microsurgery, arthroplasty, as you can see here. So this is very encouraging, and this is a good sign that the women surgeons in Malaysia are making good progress. We are very proud to have 4 women presidents for the Malaysian Orthopedic Association. As you can see, the first woman president was Professor Tunku Sarah, and she was the president for MOA back in the 2006. She was also the ex-head of department for the orthopedic department, University of Malaya, and she was the founder of Malaysian Society of Hand Surgery. Professor Azlina Abbas, who is an arthroplasty surgeon, became the second woman president for MOA back in 2014. And she is also ex-head of department for the orthopedic department in University of Malaya. I became the third woman to president for MOA just about 2 years ago, and after that, I became the president for ASEAN Orthopedic Association. I single-handedly founded and led the oncology unit in Hospital Kuala Lumpur. Our current president is Professor Sharifah Ruhi, who is a hand and microsurgeon, and she was also the ex-head of the hand unit in National University of Malaya, and the ex-president of Malaysian Society of Hand Surgery. So we have 4 women presidents for Malaysian Orthopedic Society. So quite interesting. Another very interesting thing that happened when I was the president was that the top 3 posts in the council of Malaysian Orthopedic Associations were nominated by women. So me as a president, the president-elect was Professor Sharifah Ruhi, and secretary was Professor Hasla, who is an oncology surgeon. So in the College of Surgeons Malaysia, we have a woman chapter. So in MOA, we do not have that, but in the College of Surgeons, we have a woman chapter that meets every now and then and discuss and also have some meetings about various issues in our work. So this is College of Surgeons Malaysia group. As for other ASEAN countries, It's very hard for me to collect latest data from Myanmar, as you know that there's political issues back in Myanmar now. So all I have is the data of 2019, which shows that there were about 10 women orthopedic surgeons in Myanmar. But for Cambodia and Laos, there were no women orthopedic surgeons. One country that I failed to obtain any data is Vietnam. So I have no data about Vietnam's orthopedic association to share with you. What is holding our women back in this part of the world is that, as you know, this is mostly still a very traditional society with a lot of unequal distribution of duties for women. The society don't really care very much if you are a teacher, a doctor, or you are just a housewife. So there are a lot of duties that a woman has to shoulder, like childbearing, childcare, housework, care for other family members. So if a woman has the guts to say, okay, I want to become an orthopedic surgeon, sometimes the response from the family or even the friends is that, are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Do you think you can handle all this work together? So this is quite a troubling kind of trend still in many parts of the region in ASEAN. And there is a very deep-rooted ASEAN kind of male dominance as well as gender bias, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And many men still have a lot of negative idea about the role of the woman, and there's a lot of they feel threatened if a woman is better, and they are unwilling to work together with women sometimes. And for many women, because they have been brought up in the society that worship manpower, many women are still doubting their own capabilities, and they have a lot of confidence issues, whether they are able to take the challenge of becoming a doctor, let alone becoming a surgeon or the orthopedic surgeon. So there's a lot of problem still in both parties, men and also the women. So it is not uncommon for women in this region to face a lot of challenges at work, especially when they are doctors or surgeons. There are a lot of skepticism from both the patients and also the fellow colleagues about the capability of the women counterparts. And they are very often judged more harshly than their male surgeons. And it is not uncommon to hear that somebody has suffered some sexual harassment at work, either physical or non-physical. And sometimes the woman who suffers such harassment chose to be quiet because there are concerns about repercussions and also for speaking out. Sometimes they might even get punished because they make the complaint. So they're also not uncommon to hear about unequal promotion opportunities, and this one can be quite apparent sometimes, even in the institutions. And work-life balance can be a real challenge for many of the women who have to shoulder a lot of responsibilities beside the work that they have to do. And lack of role models is also a serious issue, not so much in Malaysia, Singapore, but very common in other countries like Indonesia, Myanmar, uh, uh, Laos, and Cambodia. So if you look at all the statistics, the numbers are really increasing in ASEAN countries for women orthopedic surgeons. It is something that we can celebrate and be proud of, but it is not really just enough just to have more people joining us. The thing is that there is a very troubling issue is that the culture, the whole working culture needs to change from within to become truly gender neutral meritocracy. And how are we going to achieve this? And because of the differences of all these nations in the ASEAN region, it is really very difficult for me to have a formula for everybody. So, but things are definitely getting better and better. And we have to, women surgeons must continue to break barriers, no matter where we are, and to take control, show the way, and inspire other women to become better surgeons and leaders. And in time, I'm sure we will be able to stand side by side and with the guys at work. Thank you very much.